Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing into a piece of writing that is practically vibrating with rebellious energy. It's the lyrics to There Is No Box. I mean, even just the title, right? You can instantly feel that defiance. So the core idea we're going to explore today is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. What if, and just hear me out, what if the boundaries holding us back in life are literally just an illusion? We aren't just talking about breaking a few rules here. This is about completely unlearning the constraints that society forcefully places on us. Over the next few minutes, we're going to map out exactly how these lyrics dismantle the whole concept of limitation from the ground up. I want you to think about this lyric for just a second. Why look for a way out of a cardboard cage? It really begs a massive question, doesn't it? Why do us humans, spend so much time agonizing over how to escape a prison that is honestly so incredibly fragile? I mean, a cardboard cage, that can't hold anything that genuinely wants to be free. The text is basically demanding that we look in the mirror and ask why we so readily accept these self-imposed constraints. If the walls are quite literally made of paper, why aren't we just tearing right through them?
Which brings us to Section 1, the illusion of rules, and how we build the cardboard cage.
Because we're taught these established rules so early on, aren't we? We're told to color inside the lines, follow all the written signs. And sure, these start out as innocent little childhood metaphors. The earliest rules we learn are all about, staying within predefined borders and just blindly following instructions. But as the lyrics really effectively show here, they escalate fast. They quickly turn into real physical restrictions, caging the spirit, locking the door. It's this super subtle conditioning that eventually builds a very real, very restrictive mental prison.
And this brilliantly illustrates the clash happening here. Society demands this highly specific ideal, right? A perfect frame, a calculated story that's safe, predictable, and, let's be real, totally restrictive. But actually breaking free? That reality looks completely different. The edges blur, the ink bleeds, it's chaotic for sure, but it perfectly contrasts that sterile, fake perfection of the rules with the vibrant, messy, unstoppable reality of genuine human expression.
So let's move into Section 2. Rejecting the cliché, the agitation. We have absolutely all heard that standard corporate advice, right? Think outside the box. It's essentially just jargon for being innovative. But the lyrics here completely scoff at that cliché. And you have to ask yourself, why? Well, it's simple. Because if you are trying to think outside the box, you're actually still validating that the box exists in the first place. You're really just standing on the other side of the boundary, still totally tethered to that original constraint. The text essentially views this as a trap, a clever little way to make you feel free while keeping you locked into the exact same limitations.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the definition the chorus gives us. If the box isn't a boundary to cross, then what is it? It's a lie they sold to keep you small. Just think about the sheer power of that framing for a second. The boundaries aren't just restrictive, they're not even real. They are completely fabricated purely to minimize your potential. There is actually nothing there.
And that realization kicks off Section 3, the high-voltage riot, Weapons of Rebellion.
So the text systematically destroys these static, rigid structures, which it calls the geometry of fear. You see, you don't just step politely over walls and boundaries. No, you become a runaway freight train. You don't just, find the key to unlock a cardboard cage. You completely smash it with a heavy metal heart. You absolutely shatter the perfect frame by igniting a high-voltage riot. The lyrics are so smart here. They use these heavy metal, almost mechanical metaphors of pure, unstoppable momentum to just obliterate the static fears that have been holding the narrator back.
But right before the ultimate destruction of that box, there has to be this moment of awakening. And the lyrics capture this profound shift perfectly with the line, looking at the world through resurrected eyes. This specific phrase? That's the exact crystal clear moment of realization. The old way of seeing, that vision completely clouded by rules and rigid lines, has died. A totally new enlightened perspective has just been born. It's the split second the illusion shatters and true clarity kicks in, because you really can't unsee the truth once your eyes have been resurrected. Let's move to and see how this builds. With those resurrected eyes, the action becomes incredibly fast and totally undeniable. Break the static. Feel the shocks. Turn the key. Break the locks. The text literally mimics a driving, pounding rhythm here. It's this rapid-fire call to action. It's saying, don't just intellectually understand the lie, you have to actively participate in tearing it down. You literally have to feel the shocks of that rebellion.
Which propels us into our final beat, Section 4, Total Liberation, the Open Sky. So the crucial point is really the ultimate takeaway from the outro.
The sky is open, the chains are broken. Once you realize that the box was a complete lie, once you shatter the static and break the locks, you aren't just standing in a slightly larger room. No, you are standing out under an entirely open sky. Realizing there is literally no box means there is absolutely nothing left to hold us back. The limit has been completely removed.
Which actually brings me right back to you. The text leaves us in this massive, expansive, liberated space, but it also silently poses a real challenge. If there is no box and the sky is wide open, what is actually holding you back? Right now, what cardboard cage have you been agonizing over that you could literally just tear right through today? Because the rules, they're an illusion. The limits are a lie designed to keep you small. So take that heavy metal heart, break the static, and step out into the open sky. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, I really hope this sparks a high-voltage riot of your own.